good afternoon, good evening. So what we start with? We have already a question. The next question you sent to me, remember our previous question was how do they look like? Yeah, and now from another questioner there is a next question. Do you see? Their motivation of visiting or visits planet Earth and interacting with humans. Why? So I started to form my answer, not for me, I just started to form, and I just, until that moment, the last point, I decided, okay, let's already read in public this sector, because he will not disturb me when you continue, because at least I don't have device here now, I don't have computer I will use tomorrow, and I will finish it until tomorrow. You can think whatever you think. You are somewhere there. Now we're divided and not connected yet. Now it's just one way. But connection and interconnection all comes later. First, let me read it. I pray you, let me read it. So I will read how it is. First I showed it like this. See, this is the beginning. First of all, who is visiting who here on Earth? Who is a long visitor? Who is a quick visitor? Who is a multi-visitor? Who are those who are home here? If they are those, of course. First of all, first, imagine to be out of the simulation. Just imagine. Just allow yourself that imagination. If you don't believe in Matrix and don't want to imagine anyhow any things like this, in this case we could say simply, imagine yourself out of very thing you can know here. You don't need to imagine a new world from where to observe this one. Just imagine to be outside and see from outside and play with it, as all those things are toys. Number 2. Imagine planets and plans of existence. Each plan has its own story of creations, creatings, forming, reforming, evolution, devolution, peace and war, all those multi-layered, multi-tangled and multi-complicated complex systems, plans of existence, or individual and unique. Though they are, of course, similarities and repeating patterns, but anyway, those plans are isolated and must be isolated for the maintenance of an experiment of evolution of X civilization based on X data and X code problems to solve. All those problems are not only problems independently, except those cases of more special experiments when whole multi-complex systems might merge or collapse. Number 3. You see now, those plans of existence are like beings, some older, some younger. These also are absolutely new, just made planets to get ready to plant their new seeds of life. But you know, this process is very similar as humans are planting plants using the growing their ground, their land. As we know, most slow growers and farmers are not planting plants on the land only once. They do it one time after other, year after year. Same with the plans of existence. So, how do you know who said to you that the planet was new when we were planted here? E. Too little possibility. B. Very many artifacts and facts are whispering, telling, screaming that no, there was life before us and they probably will be life after us. So, but what was before? All previous evolutionary experiments, all remembers, all of the old pattern must be off. To not to distort and anyhow affect the very current development of certain civilization. So that's why they say there was nothing, and all decent members of the civilization must believe and not question. But the evolutionary experimentatory situation of Earth is different. It's complicated by irrational merging and blending something that should have been deeper and more detailed, studied, well improved, and then may be connected again, but being before and now, not. We are talking about visitors, visiting intelligence, and so on. So again, why this situation on Earth is so unique in evolutionary experimentatory sense? Because normally any plan needs certain periods of time to be completed of previous life, to cleanse all layers of old information, to get the plan clinically natural, to after prepare for feeding and seed. Prepare for seeding and seed, yes. Earth was not completed with the previous experiment. It was still planted and swarmed by secondary life forms and background bio, and on more suitable on the more subtle fields levels, there was enormous amount of information and non-solved problems. This all must have been cleansed, but did not. There was a certain kind of deep sorrow, then discussions without decisions, improvisation, attempt to give some chance after even none realized the last chance. Then they made the people, then some other people. It's complicated without the right context, but we are not going to go there, even if the context is right too. Now we are have our own current context, Earth and visitors. So the next angle, different types and kinds of races and civilizations. But not like civilization of first kind or civilization of second kind or civilization of the third kind, fourth kind, and so on. No, here a different kind of differences is taking place. Different purposes, different directions, different environments and different needs. There are many differences. How to differ those differences. But one example, and this is our example. Except others, they are races and civilizations who don't care only about their own maintenance. They do care and they must care by their own code of existence about other civilizations or races to exist. This is kind of work as the life programs. Very many cosmic civilizations program like that. And this is a good program. So, there was the momentum of decision before to make last preparing settings, before to switch on the new old experiment, because the old memory, even if it was mostly the memory of unsolved problems, was imbued and percepted if needs form into the very core of the essence of so-called new human or Homo sapiens, how the humans call now themselves. But before we started to exist here and experience strange consequences of what we don't even know. Before that was momentum for sudden decision, and before that momentum there were many before us, some longer, some shorter, some born and some evolved here, some came in already evolved phases and adjusted for residence. Some of them were reptoids, some like humans. Both were here at least for longer. They just visit. And both races, we say races, but the meaning is very broad here. There are many different types of reptoids, also many different types of what are like humans, but both of them may say we are the origins of Earth. I'm not saying yes or no to any of them. In my eyes, Earth, as well as the other planets, is not to possess, but to exist. So, in this situation, we must look at all the things, all the patterns, analyzing all without being affected by any local gravitational limitations. It means to switch all the automatic sets off and set everything by your own mindset. What does it mean? Just stop thinking. I see the conflict between aliens and humans. Of course, I wish the victory to humans because I'm human. And maintain for millennia the system here. Human. Well, yes. Be objective. Listen the answer. I remember the question. So again, there are alien races in the universe who are maintaining their existence. Mindset, programs, mind control, genetic control, belief control, health control, tech control, even agents inside the systems, and Draco-reptoids are also of them. Do you believe they need us only for golden copper? To maintain such a complexity of nations and movements for millennia only to get of the planet raw resources? Does it sound credible to you? To me, not at all. This is just fake. By the way, the alchemy exists, and who really need the precious materials may much easier get access to those laboratories and factories of alchemy than to colonize planets and maintain for millennia the system there. So, no, this is not a real benefit to them to be here and to do so complex work of maintaining many layers. In fact, many main layers of the experiment of Homo sapiens. Other benefits that you can mention, I know, I have heard. Those benefits, some of them are more real, but again, not the main ones for those Dracos who are here on Earth working behind the curtains of comprehension for millennia. Yes, they are here, always. When was decided, let them try again, meaning us, before creating us as we are. But we were too weak from the very beginning. They had to take the triggers of mountains. They do their job, and we are not talking now about they are good or they are bad or how well to do the job. They are just technically technically detail the indicator of why do they visit us. So here is the first group of still so-called visitors. They are architects, thinkers, maintainers, any kind of workers on the skeleton of this world. They are here because they work.